Hola, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to Between
Between
Us,
Us.
entre nosotros, entre nosotras.
Okay, so to start, the topics discussed here are based on our personal experience and point of views. So nothing shared here has to be taken as a professional advice. This is just a space that exists where we actually share honest conversations and reflections and hope that helps you find a way or just to be curious about our lives, whichever brings you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. We're not expert, but we have experience since we've been together for how long?
24 years.
Holy shit, that's a lot of time.
That's the other day.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
That's how it feels like.
Yeah, we just graduated from high school.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, we started dating when we were in high school. So I was, what, 16, 15, 16?
Mhm.
And since then, it's been a really interesting roller coaster, interesting sequence
Journey.
of
Mhm.
journeys and challenges that we somehow, overcame.
Overcome, yeah.
And we learned a lot from that experience, and we wanted to share some of it, the things that we can say out
right.
here,
Right.
and see if we can, we can connect, we can relate, and if we can help, even better.
Right.
The goal behind this is basically help, connect, and
connect.
somehow just
Yeah.
put out there some knowledge.
We figured that if we went through all these challenges and we overcome them, and somehow whatever it worked for us can work for somebody else going through the same challenges, even if it's one person that takes something good out of this, we did our deed. We did
Good
what
vibes, good intentions only. Okay, so
good vibes.
what is the subject? What is it that you guys?
I think, being this the first episode, I think that we just should go for talking about what relationships are like for us, what it means, what it meant, and what it means now. Like the difference of growing and going through all the things that we've been through, what it means today, and what do you think it meant for us back then? So I guess we can start basically in a sense from the beginning and
Some background.
give them some backgrounds. Well, I'm Sandra. Please, anyone.
Hi.
We've been 24 years together. And
Since high school.
Since high school, so we high school sweethearts. I came from a family, I would say broken family. I didn't have the privilege to grow up with my siblings. I grew up with my grandparents. So I was a very basically only child in a sense because I was the only one in the household. So I was a little lonely. I always craved for having big family, big events, big stuff. So in my head, when I thought about relationship back then, it was kind of like, for me, it was that. It was just thinking about, I want to get married and have a lot of kids and have big family. That was kind of like my goal, I guess, because I wanted it so much that was kind of like my main thinking, I guess. So that was kind of like my background and my thought about relationships back then.
So in my end, I grew up with a sister and mom and dad. At the age of 13, 14, maybe younger, I started seeing how the relationship between my parents started falling apart, and from having a perfect relationship, not knowing what was happening, behind curtains, behind doors, it crumbles everything. My entire view of a family, of a loving family, it kind of just fall apart. It was really hard for me. For some people, it's like that's nothing because people go through a lot of difficulties,
Right.
and it's way worse than that.
Right.
Like, for example, her history is a lot harder, you know. And in my case, it was family, you know, separating. But it hit me so hard that I needed to look my way into finding also that, you know, connecting with someone that I can have a bigger family, mom and dad figure, and kind of like, you know, be together and spend nice things together and quality time.
Right. Right. Um, you know, when we met, I would say that obviously that those first moments is not like you don't know, oh, this is gonna be my person and I'm gonna marry. Well, I did say that though, but
She's a witch.
I did say that. I did say that. I said when we were boyfriend and girls, I was like, you're gonna be the father of my kids, and I made it happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's but you know, when let's say when life happened and we were going towards having a family and being together for real, not just boyfriend and girlfriend. It was like we started living together. Then you know, after 3 years, I got pregnant with Elian. So that's when like the real family, household, everything like I felt like that's when it hit. At first, it was more like, you know, I'm my boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, we like each other, we've been through a lot of this and that. But after going to a lot of dramas, when we had Elian and we started living together, that's when kind of like everything was real.
It's basically roll the ball. Like it's happening. Things are gonna change now, and it did change for good.
Yeah.
In a sense, of course, it was the same thing. The roller coaster. We came from broken families.
Yes.
We were healing from that.
Right.
And basically, we were kids, raising kids. So we needed to learn how to heal and also raise kids, not knowing how to raise kids because we were kids ourselves. We were still teenagers when you know when we started living together.
Right. Yeah. It, you know, we went through a lot of drama and stuff because when we started, even that we knew what we wanted in the long run, we still didn't have the tools or anything to kind of like make that basic relationship that we're gonna grow and be strong. We still we still didn't have all the tools. We didn't really know. We just went into the relationship thinking that we know, when at the end we really didn't know anything. You know, it was just going with the flow and dealing with our traumas and our outbursts and our bad habits that came from our families, from all the shit and the drama that happened before. And then we bring all that stuff to the relationship. So when that reality hits, that's where I guess like where we have like that, oh shit, you know, like, and here we are trying to manage all that stuff, hurting each other a lot. We hurt each other a lot. Don't get me wrong, we had amazing moment. It was kind of like, it's a weird way to explain it because it was this part of us that yes, we were like in the drama stage, we were hurting each other, but at the same time we wanted to be together, and at the same time we always try to like push it. So it was kind of like a battle of good versus, you know, good versus evil type of thing. So it was very at the time, and at the time it was very confusing because, you know, you in your heart, I want this, I want to have this with this person, but at the same time it's like, I'm just so tired of this shit, like when is it gonna end? And so it's been, it was a lot of challenges that we had to kind of like, you know, overcome. A lot, you know, thinking about it.
And we're still going through, but now we can see things a lot clear. We can analyze. We are mature enough to analyze things and hear each other out and maybe understand better.
I think that was the recent that was the most recent lesson we basically learned. It's like we try to be, I guess, this perfect people. We never open up completely to each other because we were trying to be this person. And his side, he was trying to be the strong and like always the strong one. Like he really didn't open too much to see, to show his weakness, his vulnerability, because he had that weight on his shoulder of, I need to push this family and everything is on me. And he didn't really really open up and say those things before. Me, I had abandonment issues. I have a lot of traumas before that. I guess I always try to be perfect in his eyes, but then at the same time, when I analyze myself, it was more like a me thing. Like it was me feeling some type of way with myself, not because it was like not things going on. There were things going on, but it kind of like opened up a door to me seeing like, okay, this is not just he did this or he did that or he's saying this or he treated me this way. It's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Or how am I not seeing him in a way that we can finally connect? Because I was thinking so much on what I wanted that I never thought of thinking like, what am I not giving? So that's kind of like our recent lesson. I don't know if you want to talk about a little bit more about that because it's more recent. It's more, I think it's kind of like of all the lessons, I think that was like the most eye-opening and shocking, and the one that actually finally let us kind of like connect.
Yeah, because we knew a lot in how to deal with bunch of stuff, but knowing something but also putting it in practice is a whole different game. You can have the knowledge, but if you don't practice, if you don't, you know, you preach it, but you don't practice what you preach.
Right.
You're just not gonna experience and can learn from what you have learned. So recently, we realized that we're so focused in our role and how to be how human beings, but we kind of forget to put ourselves in each other's shoes and understand why this person is thinking this way and why I'm taking it the wrong way or a certain way when she meant something else. Sometimes we are so it's basically when you are waiting for something to come wrong to have a fight. You're so
like I heard that it's
overstimulate, and sensitive.
But it's our nervous system. The nervous system is so used to like that drama, fight or fight. I think fight or flight or something like that is the expression.
Yeah, and coming from that, so much drama in the past, it's like you're just waiting for something bad to happen. So you just don't open up to the point that I can feel and understand where you're coming from and what do you want to happen. And I just think it in the wrong way because that's how I feel at the moment, or because it triggers something on me, something that maybe happened, I don't know, years ago, but it's still in our head. And if you don't talk about it and say, hey, listen, what did you say to me? It came a little bit harsh, it came the wrong way, or I took it the wrong way, but this is how I feel, and talking about it, it makes you realize, holy shit, she didn't mean that. I took it the wrong way.
Yes.
Because I was feeling some type of way and I'm so defensive that I'm just taking the negative from the message and not listen the positive part about it.
Like the real meaning of, I'm bringing this situation here not because I'm attacking you, because I want to solve it.
You want to say as an example? It has to be so personal. An example, so they
which one did you remember the most? I don't know, maybe I think the only one that comes to my head right now, it wasn't like a super big, but it was when we realized, okay, like definitely the communication is like how we saying things, how we taking it, like the whole marriage. When we were having a conversation,
Okay.
and you having a you tell a story.
So the way I see marriage after so many years of
Yeah,
seeing
at this moment in life.
at this moment in life, after seeing how we have perpetrated marriage, how we see it, how we most of the people see it, it's like this perfect wedding, dressed in a certain way, bunch of people celebrating, somebody else's engagement,
Right.
agreement,
Right.
whatever. So at the beginning, it's like, okay, it's a dream that I know that most of women, I tell myself to say it that once.
Right.
It's a dream.
It's like a little fantasy, like, oh, the wedding, the dressing in white, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's there's something I guess that put in our head since little. It's like
Yeah. So in my head, it's a catch. You spend a lot of freaking money. You throw a big party for a lot of people, and in our experience, most of the people that are in the wedding, they don't like you. Sometimes they're just there to take something from you, have fun, eat, criticize the food, or how the couple was dressed,
right.
or I'm just pointing out the negative stuff. Of course, you have
And
fun. There's so many people that also
and you're
love
talking a little bit more about the wedding specifically, what the party and everything is,
Yes.
instead of the marriage per se.
Yes. It's not the fact that you're getting married to the person that you love. Right. It's the fact that you throw a party for people that maybe they don't appreciate you.
You spend so much. Yeah. Which I totally agree when we put it in a table like that. Like if you're talking about that subject specifically, we talk about that, I see that the same way.
Yeah.
Going towards what we were saying, and how when we understand the communication wasn't there because we were having a conversation with somebody else, and we were talking about getting married and marriage and all this stuff, and we're talking about relationship and advice, and then talking about person like wanting to get married and why not and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden he comes up, jumps. All of a sudden, he jumps and says,
I don't believe in marriage.
So here I am, we're talking about, relationships and this and that. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I don't believe in marriage. But he didn't say anything else. He just said that. So I took it as marriage. Like, in my head, it's like, what do you mean? Like, we married. Like, what do you mean you don't believe in marriage? But this is me in my head. Why you don't believe in marriage? Like, we married. It's like, you don't like me? Like, oh, my head just spin. Like, I made all this story in my head, and I got angry and all this. Me, normally when I get mad, I just shut down and I just get serious and I don't talk.
Yeah. So the conversation kept going,
and I just let it go and let that sit there.
Yeah, nothing happened. Right. But I noticed that the next day she was acting up so freaking weird. I'm like, what the hell? What did I do now? I don't go out. I don't drink. I'm mostly from my house to work, and I come back. It's kind of boring, but I think we are in the good spot in our life.
Right.
So it was the moment to talk, and she, of course, just.
Girls, you know that when we get some type of way, it doesn't matter how much you want to try to disguise it. It's like it kind of like comes out. I think he felt the heat.
Yeah. So I'm like, she spilled the soup, and she just basically told me how did she feel it and how she took it that way. And of course, my new me is like, okay, now I understand that sometimes we say things with a nice heart because you want, nothing but good, but I guess I said it the wrong way, or I just said something and then I didn't give context.
Right. And so then the other person creates the movie.
So I had to explain myself.
Right.
So I had to explain that to me, marriage is based in business. You spend lots of money, and not nothing against the people that makes money out
Right.
of
Right. Right.
this
No, this
wedding.
again, this is our personal opinion.
That's
we respect
Yeah,
everybody.
this is how I see things, because I know people that get married, they complain about, I don't have good friends, but then you throw a wedding and you invite a bunch of people, and I'm like, wait, so if you throw in a wedding for people that you don't like or people that you don't consider friends, so I'm like, what's the point? So to me, let's get married. Let's get married in a freaking cruise and enjoy.
He said it. He said it. What?
and enjoy the trip. Something that you can do with your partner. Yes, maybe you have a few best friends that you say, hey, listen, let's go, all of us in a cruise, and spend time together and create moments. But a wedding, spending 60 grand, 20 grand, all the stress to launch a party for somebody else, your friends, the ones that think they are always there when you need them, and most of the time you don't even consider them friends because they're not there when you need them, or they're not good friends. They just basically there because somehow you know them, and yeah, I have a party, come to my party, and that's why I see things, and that's why I throw it the way I did. I think I'm kind of honest in when I say things, and again, it's coming from a good place.
I think it also was like, obviously it was the choice of wording it, because you should have said, I don't believe in weddings, instead of I don't believe in marriage. But I like, now that we talk about it, I can see what you meant when you said it, because you explained it to me.
So, and on top of that, people who got married and got divorced, they know the catch. If you are sharing properties, if you're sharing goods and stuff like that, you have to split everything in half. And if the other person didn't help a single bit to the things that you have or you have created, you have to share with the other person. So everything points to me, in my head, that is a business, somehow.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have anything against married. We are married. We got married really young age. We just never had a wedding.
Right. We didn't have a wedding.
Well, I know she wanted a wedding. So I know that's why she got triggered.
True. But again, my trigger was more about the marriage per se, not the wedding. Because again, like when you said it, like it makes sense. It makes total sense to me. What I will love, now that I have witnesses here, what I would love, yes, I definitely would love to, get dressed, have you at the end of the, thing, go there, pictures, the kids with us. That's all I would like. Pictures, me, nice dress. I don't want a freaking big wedding and this and that. I just want like
a ceremony,
capture that moment
with the right people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Consejo. People that you want in your wedding. I mean, my point of view, right? With all respect, it's the type of people, the type of friends that when you buy your first house, when you buy your first car, used or brand new, when you graduate from school, when you do something nice for you, they get happier than you. And you can see it in their face. If that person doesn't
cheer you with their heart, with their smile, and like, that is genuine, like, we are so happy. Oh my God, this is like, it's just, it doesn't really matter what they say, when it's genuine or not.
Yeah. So if that person have those qualities, I feel like those are the people that you want in your wedding. The rest is basically, yes, my friends who go out and have a few drinks, friends who, just
there's different categories, and there's a respect that goes when, like, what are the close friends that I know that I can actually pick the phone and call this person and be like, this is, I probably didn't talk to that person in months, but I know that I can actually count on that person. I think, but yeah.
So that's an example of how we understood. We understand each other.
Right.
I say something that it came out the wrong way. Maybe she was sensitive to the subject because, again, we didn't have a wedding and we are married. And I say, I don't believe in marriage.
Right.
And it hit something on her that she took it the wrong way.
And then I choose to silence instead of talk in the moment too, which that's another thing that I'm also
because it made things worse.
And the things that we've been doing.
It creates something in our head, and on top of that, whatever we have going on, it kind of like it closes us down. You know, you close your doors. Now I don't know what's happening, and maybe if I choose to close the doors too, and you know what, I didn't say anything wrong. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Recently, also happened too. Like a couple of days ago when you had the headache.
Yeah.
He had a headache. What happened? Because we've been through so much in the relationship. Normally, when he was in a bad mood, I choose to leave him alone, not even talk to him. So I will close up and I will just turn around, and that's normally how I deal when he was in a bad mood or in a stress mood. So this recently, after we having this different approach of things, a situation happened and he had a headache, and I noticed that he was like medio malcriado. How you say that? Estaba como malcriadito él.
I was off.
So I noticed it, but then my immediate reaction was to do exactly what I did before. So okay, so I'm gonna leave him alone. He wants to be malcriado, que se quede por allá, and I'm just gonna mirarme para mi lado y do whatever. So didn't happen like that. But again, let's realize we've been having so much good days now that we're talking better, that we right now I feel like we're at a stage where we like feel like girlfriend and boyfriend and kind of like the sparkles, and I love being next to him. So having not talking to him from that moment and the next day was like, damn, I don't want this. I miss being all together and talking and all happy. So I text him and I'm just like, listen, I know you had a headache, and I don't know if maybe it's me and maybe I'm reacting some type of way, but I really don't like how this is going and blah, blah, blah. And I said what I said, and I texted him and I sent it. And then he just kind of like, he didn't react to it, you know, like, oh my God, you always this or that. He didn't do that. He didn't choose to do that. He chose to be like, no.
And I knew that she was distant. I knew that she was acting that way because I was feeling bad and I was, you know, dry, not being, you know, kind of connected with her.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to say by myself, but at the same time, I want her to, you know,
to
apapache me.
Right. So he was being he was mad for being a little chango. He just wanted me to be like, it's okay, baby. And I didn't choose to do that. I choose to create distance. So now we are in the moments that when things happen like that, we are like more aware, and it's easier to kind of like, okay, go back and be like, you know, I did this wrong. Let's just try to fix it and do it again. Yeah, and we open to hear each other, which is, I think, one of the most important things.
And put the pride to the side and, you know, kind of have the initiative to say, hey, my bad. I apologize. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, you know.
Right.
I don't know, make it up for the other half that is going to be the person that is going to be by your side in the worst moment of your life, and the good and bad, ups and downs.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And it was like, if somebody just stand in front of us right now and be like, oh, what advice would you give us? The advice that I would give is to work in their communication. And when I say communication, a lot of people, and we did that too.
Yeah, because we do have communication.
Right.
We talk, but we do not listen to
Right.
each other.
So we have a bad conception. When we used to hear, oh, you guys need to communicate and things will be good. And we will used to say, like, oh, but I don't think the problem is communicating because we talk a lot. But that was not it. We were really not communicating at all because we were just focusing on, I want to say this and I want you to understand that I am right. And that's how we will come into a conversation. And instead of listening to the other person, we trying to prove ourselves right. And we didn't give space to the other person to be like, oh, this is what's happening and this is how I'm feeling and blah, blah, blah. So now that we like in the other side and we look at it, it's like, yeah, we really didn't have communication. Like we talk, but we really didn't give each other space to feel what they needed to feel without judging them. Because we jump to judgment just because we feel hurt and maybe we just want you to understand that feeling, and the only way I can actually show you that is making you feel also the same way,
Yeah.
which is wrong.
And remember, this work for a couple, but this can also work with your kids.
Yes. Oh, that and that.
With your boss at
yes.
work, with your coworker, with your best friend, with a random person in the street. Because sometimes we just knock head in the street with someone that's having a bad time. Person says something wrong or came out the wrong way. We took it the wrong way, and we are ready to fight. We're ready to start some drama because we were not happy with the way the person says something to us.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you have people that they're just passing by. They probably in their own head, going through their own shit and their own problems, and all of a sudden they kind of like go like that. And then you took us like, what the hell is wrong with that one? What the hell should like look at me that way? This and that. And then you create all this freaking story in your head, thinking that that person is so bad and that it, like, oh, she doesn't like me. How do you even know? Did you even approach the other person? Did you even open a communication and see exactly who this person is and how she is? Like, what?
Put yourself in their shoes.
Right. A lot of people, and I think that's what's wrong with the world right now. Like, a lot of people that just jump into conclusions about things just because of what they see. But you can't really rely on what you see because you really don't know what the hell that person is going through in their life and their own world. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I get passionate, okay? I get passionate about talking about stuff.
So, yeah, we were handling things in a different way now. We just explained. But we're still working on it.
Yeah.
We still take shit personal sometimes. We're still falling into that bad habit that is like, okay, I need to be with my shield protecting me at all time because I'm not gonna let anyone, walk over me or say the wrong thing to me.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, now I take it maybe wrong, but then
analyze it,
kind of like take my time to go through the whole process.
Right.
And okay, maybe she said it or maybe he said it.
You know what? At the end of the day, now I see it. I understand it better when it says, when I hear this thing when they say, like letting go of hate and forgiving and all that stuff is not for the person, it's for you.
Yeah.
Us analyzing things and taking it less personal, it let us not go towards being mad, obsessed, stress and all this stuff because we kind of like, okay, seeing it with a different perspective and we don't let the emotions take over, especially the bad emotions like stressing or getting mad or whatever. Because, at the end of the day, you choose how you take things, right? Like something happened, an accident happened. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it might give you stress, but in the moment it's like, you know what? Things are things, right? And, it happened. Thank God we you're okay, and focusing on the good thing. Yes, something bad happened, but it's replaceable. It's something that it could be fixed. And I think when you encounter those things in life and you see exactly how to choose between what it actually matters and what it really is like not really relevant, that's when you start finding that happiness and that, you know, place where you want to be and where you want to go.
Yep.
I feel like I talk too much. Go ahead, you talk.
No, she has said everything, to be honest. I'm glad that we have reached in to this way of thinking, especially in this time of the year, but also this time in the lifetime.
Yes.
You know, you need some time to prepare for when things are not going, you know, the way you wanted it. So once we understand that life doesn't have anything against us, it just happen. You know, everybody goes through good times and bad times. Happiness is just uh, momentary. You know, enjoy it. You know, once it lasts, but also embrace the bad moment.
Yeah.
You know, once you understand all this stuff and you put it to work and practice in your everyday, I think life will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Not easy, but easier.
Right.
You will have the tools to deal with it, and that's
to
why
navigate the moments. And again, when you actually encounter yourself and how you work with all the triggers that come to you, I think it's easier, because I feel like it's not feeling things. It's about, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I stressed out? Why this stressed me out so much? So then you kind of like start layering things, and it makes more sense, and it gives you more peace.
Yeah, feel the feeling, analyze it, why I feel this way, but also get the hell out of there once you realize the why. Right. But don't stay there, because this creates stress and take you to depression.
It takes you to the victim mode too, because then you choose to stay in that state, and you don't turn the finger and be like, what am I doing to create this? Like, how can I do something to get out of it? You know, like sometimes, a lot of times, that bad things happen. Everybody goes through bad things, but it's your choice to say, you know what, I don't want to stay here. This is not what I want for me. So let's continue looking what are the tools that I need to learn, because that's another thing. You need to learn the tools, and you need to put it in practice to get to the point that you want to. Just praying about it and thinking about it is not going to change a thing. You need to put the work.
Yeah. You said it all.
So I think that kind of like wraps up the...
This is between us. Entre nosotros.
Yeah, so thank you so much for listening. We hope that our experience and what we share here give you a little insight, and share it with somebody that might actually learn something too. So
if you have any question, want to know about, you know, other subjects, right, just please in the comments, just let us know. So we are open. Also tell us if you like it, what part you like the most. Interact with us, because this is what we want. We want to be able to talk to you and create a safe space. Yes, create a safe space where nobody's going to be judging nobody, because at the end of the day, everybody is their own person, and you have the right to choose and think whatever you want to think, you know? So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and see you soon. Between us. Entre nosotros. Bye. Bye.